All right, you guys. So today I'm going to be checking out this video titled Every Anime Studio Explained in 17 Minutes. So it looks like this guy's going to be breaking down every single anime studio, or at least the popular anime studios that are in Japan. For me, the only big anime studios that I know off top of the rip is obviously Toei and Madhouse. And obviously, there's also one more on top of my head that did Attack on Titan. Um, I'm losing the blank right now. But they also did the Villain Saga. But those are like and it did JJK. I gotta no. I gotta check out which studio did that. MAPPA, my bad. MAPPA. So those are the top three anime studios that I can think of off rip. And I'm not gonna lie, I've heard a lot of negative things about MAPPA recently. Not recently, but yeah, kind of recently with JJK. And basically how they slave their employees. They make them work 20+ hour shifts, paying them minimum wage. That obviously wouldn't fly in America. But I'm kind of torn as far as on the consumer side, we want the anime to come out obviously, but obviously the health of the actual people doing the actual work is important. But yeah, I just want to see what this guy has to talk what this guy has to say as far as all the let me close this for a second. Let's keep popping up. I want to see what this guy has to say about I don't know what he's going to talk about. I don't know if he's going to talk about the bad side of all these anime studios or just break down all these anime studios in general. So I want to see. I'm just intrigued because, like I said, we're always so used to watching the anime and like seeing the end product, but we're not so interested in like wanting to know what actually makes the anime. Because if there's a shitty what I'm realizing now, especially with newer, better anime quality and animation coming out, is that studio needs to do a really good job of nailing the anime. Because at this point, we could just say thanks to JJK. Like there's a certain standard that needs to be met with like newer gen anime. If you're like below that standard, it's gonna be hard for me at least to like continuously watch the anime. Unless the plot is just so damn good, I can overlook some bad animation here or there. But that's actually really rare these days to see an anime with poor quality animation, but the actual plot of the actual anime is really good. I don't think I've seen one recently within the past 5 to 10 years. The anime has to be at least on par. Even One Piece has always been stagnant, but now that they saw JJK stepping up, even One Piece is stepping up their animation quality. That's why they're on like a 6 month hiatus from what I've heard. But that's besides the point. Let's check out this guy's video and see what he's going to talk about with all these anime studios.
Toei was founded in 1948, making it one of
Damn!
the oldest animation studios.
1948.
It's responsible for some of the biggest anime ever, like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Sailor
Yeah.
Moon, and much more.
I haven't seen Sailor Moon because too girly for me from what I've seen. But I may check it out though. I don't know.
Because they've been around for so long,
Probably not though.
they have a history that I can't entirely cover, but I'll try. Toei actually helped popularize trends like magical girls with Sailor Moon or Super Mecha with Mazinger Z, and Toei Animation can generally be a mixed bag.
Yeah, Toei's the
Because they
godfather
have
of
so many
anime
projects
studios.
and have many different teams working on different productions. The quality can vary.
That's one thing I actually want to do when I go to Japan. I'm gonna go to Japan one day. I want to visit. I don't know if like it's a public, if people in the public are allowed to see the studio, but I want to actually like walk into the studio set. Like obviously, if it's allowed, but I want to see how big the actual Toei studio is in real life.
If you see that Toei is animating something, you should check the actual staff involved with that series, and that usually is a better indicator of the actual quality that series will have. I mean, just look at the inconsistency in One Piece. Some of the episodes are jaw-dropping, but some are just like, eh. But one of the best things about Toei
That is
Animation
true.
is that their workers are unionized, meaning
What does
that
that
they
mean?
are generally treated
Well, I know what that means,
amazingly
obviously.
compared to other anime studios. From what I understand, working on One Piece is a pretty smooth and positive experience.
That's
Studio
good.
Madhouse was founded in 1972 and is well regarded in the anime community for their sheer quantity of quality shows that they produce. This is
Damn.
mainly because
That's
they
actually what I'd be
focus
doing. I'm not gonna lie. When I want to look for an anime to watch, like if I'm looking for like a good quality anime to watch, what I do is I go to my anime list and I search by studios. Because usually the bigger studios have decent, good anime plots. So like when I'm done watching a good anime and I'm looking for something else to watch, I go to Madhouse, I go to my anime list, go to Toei usually has like so many animes. So I tend to go for like the second biggest opening, second biggest studios like Madhouse, Mappa. Mappa always has a good anime. So those two I can count on to see like a good anime if I have nothing else to watch. So yeah, that's something I do a
Founder
lot.
and CEO Masao Maruyama had connections to people like Satoshi Kon, Mamoru Hosoda, and Masaki Yuasa, some of the best anime directors, and they were able to consistently pump out bangers. They've made a ton of
Okay.
insanely high quality projects like Perfect Blue, Death Note, One Punch Man,
I haven't seen, the only thing I haven't seen on this list is this one. This one looks pretty interesting.
Hunter, and even just recently Freerun. Unfortunately, in
Okay,
2010,
I'm watching
a
that right
big
now.
split happened between Madhouse, and they
Let's
lost
see.
a lot of their core staff. In addition, Maruyama left to make MAPPA, which really hurt Madhouse in the long run.
Damn,
We'll get to that
he
later.
made MAPPA.
But
Okay.
surprisingly, they seem to have rebuilt themselves, and it looks like they are still capable of pumping out amazing shows while
Sheesh.
still grabbing industry veterans, as shown with Freerun. And honestly, I doubt that fact will change in the future because of their
Okay.
legacy. However, just like other anime studios, Madhouse has had problems with overworking their employees. In 2019,
Not
a
surprised.
production assistant said that he worked over 393 hours in a single month. That's
Wait, hold on.
insane.
393. Okay, so let's do some simple calculation. I want to just get like a better understanding as far as like what that means. Okay, so there's 24 hours in a day. So let's just do. Let me just start off with like an 8-hour shift. Usually in America, 8-hour shift. So 8 hours. Let's say he's doing 7 days a week. Okay, it's like 56 hours. Wait, that's okay. Let's scratch it. Let's do 20-hour shifts. 20 hours a day out of 24 hours times 7 days a week. That's 140 times 4. Okay. So maybe like, okay, I'm going to assume like maybe 15 hours times 7 days a week. That's 105 hours a week. Okay, we're getting closer. So I'm going to assume 12, 13-hour shifts. That's crazy.
And he ended
That
up
is
joining
crazy.
a union to actually sue Madhouse for the overtime. Studio Ghibli is probably the
And they don't get over. Okay, no, that is literal slavery. At a certain point, that's modern day slavery. If you're not even getting paid for overtime,
most widely recognized anime studio
getting
in
paid
the
extra.
world, and that's for good reason. Only 2 anime movies have ever won Oscars, and both belong to Spirited Away and The Boy and the Heron, respectively.
I haven't seen any of these animes.
Miyazaki and Takahata broke off from Toei Animation to form Ghibli, along with Toshio Suzuki. It is worth noting that Hayao Miyazaki is pretty much the face of Studio Ghibli. Every work with his name attached seems to garner a ton more attention. Also, if you're wondering why a lot of his movies feature airplanes and casualties of war, his brother's company actually manufactured rudders for planes in World War II. Kind of explains why The Wind Rises was made. After writing his breakthrough
Okay.
manga, Nausicaa of the Valley of
Ghibli.
the Wind, he ended up directing Ghibli's
Yeah, I haven't
first
seen a
ever
single
movie,
anime in
the
Ghibli
adaptation
Studio.
of that same manga.
Because they mostly do
It was a
movies,
huge
from what I've
success,
seen.
and this kickstarted the studio's legacy. Ghibli in general is known for their high-quality animation, background art, and extremely memorable music by Joe Hisashi. Ghibli films are mostly hand-drawn using watercolor and acrylic paints, and most of the
Okay.
movies use traditional animation
Back
methods,
to the old
where
school
each
days.
frame is drawn and colored by hand. Because of this, their movies give off almost a cozy European vibe that have a lot of emphasis on the nature and backgrounds in each scene. I mean, seriously, look at the backgrounds in Ghibli films. They look amazing. People usually regard Spirited Away
Okay.
or Totoro as their best work, as they have the most critical acclaim and popularity.
I need to watch these
Personally, I
animes.
think Howl's Moving Castle, Grave of the Fireflies, and Princess Mononoke are their best works. Wit Studio is a new studio.
Wait, that's another
It's owned
studio
by Production IG.
that I heard
Studio was
about.
essentially created for their first
They're
project,
they're considered MAPPA now, right? Or they're bought out. I don't know. We'll see.
Attack on Titan. Yes, literally one of the best anime of all time was Wit Studio's first project.
Yep.
They are also responsible for some of the biggest anime, like Spy Family and Vinland Saga's first season. Wit Studio is known for their amazing action sequences with dynamic camera angles, and a lot of this can be attributed to Tetsuro Araki. The action and pacing
Shout
of
out
the
Tetsuro.
Attack on Titan's first few seasons has created some of the best action sequences I've ever seen. They've also reportedly started work on a One Piece reboot, which is looking
yeah.
crazy considering One Piece hasn't even finished, but whatever. On one hand, it's insane to think that
I'm
they're
debating
working
on watching the reboot. Actually, no, I'm gonna watch it. I don't know what I said. Why I said I'm debating. I'm watching that shit.
so many projects. But on the other hand, this is the anime industry. So we can imagine what these animators are actually going through. And in 2015, an interview was done.
Is that Adobe's? Is that Adobe Premiere Pro?
Studio Wit. When they asked about his experience, he said it's a battlefield. Basically, what you see on Attack on Titan is what I see at Studio Wit.
Damn.
One rad falls after another. What? What is going on in Studio Wit? Apparently, the default lunch of
Damn.
Studio Wit members is energy bars, and they all magically revive after eating one and then go back to work. Yeah, I hope they're exaggerating because
That should
sounds
not be the
pretty
case.
horrible, not gonna lie. Sunrise Studio was founded in
I
1972
haven't heard this
and
studio before.
revolutionized how anime was made. Instead of having a production revolve around a single person, they created the role of producers who invested in anime together to mitigate risk. This helped them create many
Okay.
classics like Cowboy Bebop, Pat Labor,
Oh,
Code Geass,
shit.
and of course, the Gundam series. They've also formed
Let me see this Gundam series. Okay, I think the only one I've seen was this Hathaway one. It was on Netflix. Um, yeah, I don't know. Me and Gundam, I don't know. It has to be like a really, really good. The only two Gundam animes that I've seen is the Hathaway and the Iron Blooded Orphans.
formerly been renamed to Bandai Namco Filmworks, but I'm gonna keep calling them Sunrise. As a studio, they're well known for their fluid animation sequences, which gave them the nickname Sunrise Smooth. Honestly, fire cocktail. Like Toei, because they are so big, they have a ton of smaller teams simultaneously working on their projects. And because of that, it's also a mixed bag. Sunrise as a studio is hugely influential. I mean, just take a look at how popular Gundam as a series is.
Gundam, damn, 5 billion. Damn,
A lot
okay.
of that can be attributed to Sunrise's great anime.
This is the anime
adaptations
I've
of the
seen.
franchise. In
I've
addition,
watched
it's
anime at least 3 times, and they sadly took it off Netflix, so I can't watch it anymore. But
produce a ton
it's
of
a good
great
anime.
classics and have the name recognition to pull in industry veterans. And that's not the only genre that they've revolutionized. Love Live was created by Sunrise Studio as
Yeah,
well.
there's no way in
It's
hell I'm
pretty
watching
much
that.
made anime idol girls that much more popular. And in terms of working conditions, it seems that Sunrise is pretty good and treats
Okay.
their full-time employees well. Studio Gainax was founded in 1984.
I wonder. Okay, one quick question. I wonder if these studios take. Obviously, I think they do, but if they take interns, I wonder the type of hours they're going to give their interns.
The GOAT of anime studios. Their first big commercial
Gainax.
success is considered to be Gunbuster, which is still a
Sheesh.
widely influential anime, but they would end up making something that was even greater. One of these university students who founded Studio Gainax was named Hideki Anno, and he would head Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Damn,
This is
I
one of
haven't
the
seen an
most
anime, but I know it's a
influential
classic anime.
of all time.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
is widely
heard.
considered to be the studio's best and most popular work, and it allowed the studio to keep making great projects. Shows like Karekano, Fooly Cooly, and Gurren Lagann are results of these. And
Haven't seen
arguably
any
some
of
the
them.
best anime to ever be created. My opinion. The reason Gainax shows are so good is because they're so creative. And a part of this idea is something called the Gainax ending, where a Gainax show will end kind of unexpectedly or weirdly.
I don't
This
like
is
that.
done out of an artistic
I
or
need some.
creative
I'm not
decision.
gonna lie. I think only live action movies can I accept like a cliffhanger ending, because more than likely there's gonna be a sequel. But for animes, you never know when they're gonna reboot that shit. So if an anime gets left on a cliffhanger, that shit will suck, because you don't know if they're ever gonna come back with the season 2. Because anime is always flip floppy as far as like when they're gonna redo an anime. It could take decades before they come back with a new season.
Or sometimes it's just done to meet deadlines. But the Gainax ending is known in the anime community as kind of a staple of the studio. But unfortunately, Gainax didn't last forever. Studio Trigger was founded by former Gainax staff members Hiroyuki Imashi and Masaki Otsuka
Okay,
in 2011.
okay. So I'm assuming the cyborg shit. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, this is the only anime that came out with the studio.
Definitely
We'll see.
feels like it's carried on that creative spirit that Gainax had. They immediately came out swinging with series like Kill la Kill and movies
Oh,
like
I've seen
My Hero
that.
Academia. Gurren Lagann,
Seen
one of
that too.
Gainax's later works,
Okay.
definitely served as the core inspiration for a lot of Trigger's early works. Trigger is also known for their crazy plot lines and fluid visuals, both of which complement each other
Oh
perfectly.
yeah, this
Visual
animation
stories,
like this
chaotic,
anime's
and
animation is
confusing at the
really
same time,
unique.
which helps their exaggerated animations sell that much more.
Oh
If you
my
want a good
gosh.
example of some of their recent works, Cyberpunk Edge Runners was absolutely
Cyberpunk.
amazing, and Dungeon Meshi is looking to be a more grounded but still action-packed Trigger show. MAPPA is one of the most well-known animation
This is the king right now of animes right now. I can't lie to you. Mappa is the king of animation studios.
studios too.
As far as quality, but the back end might need support.
Today for their amazing work on shows like Jujutsu Kaisen. They were founded in 2011 by seasoned anime producer Masayo Maruyama after he left Madhouse. Due to his connections, MAPPA was immediately interconnected with the anime industry. But in 2016, Maruyama left and was replaced
Damn.
by Manabu Utsuka, which resulted in huge changes to the
It looks
creative
younger,
culture
so
and
probably
vibe.
makes sense.
MAPPA as a studio now more has a reputation of being very reckless. They've grown extremely fast due to taking on a bunch of projects and still being able to deliver quality animation. But of course, we talk about anime, we have to talk about their work practices and how they get that quality animation in the first place. Everything from the scheduling, the work hours, and even the culture has been criticized at MAPPA.
Yep.
This became a trending topic during Jujutsu Kaisen's second season. Animators on Twitter revealed that their time at MAPPA was horrible. One person who worked on the final part of Attack on Titan said that they finally got to go home after 3 days.
That is crazy, bro. Locking somebody in an office for 3 days. Like, I'm just either like this is two extremes. Like America, I think is relatively fair when it comes to employees and working hours, but working 3 days. I'm assuming he means 3 days straight, not leaving the house, not leaving the job. That's crazy.
MAPPA, what are you doing to the animators? Let them out, please. Unfortunately, MAPPA has zero to little reason to stop their practices because their properties
And it doesn't seem like it's illegal. That's what's throwing me off. Like at a certain point, who like I don't know.
biggest in the world, like Vinland Saga Season 2,
Goated.
Chainsaw Man, and Attack on Titan.
Nice
They
and
also have a
goated.
ton of connections with the
This may be unpopular opinion, but Chainsaw Man season 1 was okay. The hype didn't deliver it didn't over deliver. I think like it just met it slightly met expectation for me, but we'll see. I think there's a movie coming out and they're obviously gonna make season 2, but overall I'm not gonna lie, Chainsaw Man doesn't really like, it is what it is. But Vinland Saga season 2 and Attack on Titan are goated series in my opinion.
industry, and that's why they're able to get so many talented animators in their studio despite the horrible pay and working conditions. I only hope that it can get better.
This was beautiful, bro.
MAPPA is truly working these animators into the ground.
Oh my
Kyoto
gosh.
Animation, also known as Kyoto Ani, is very different from MAPPA, and it's considered to be the gold standard of workplace culture for anime studios. Founded in the city of
Makes
Kyoto
sense.
in 1985, the married couple Yoko and Hideki Hata have, in my research, always fostered a great work culture. And
Nice.
unlike other studios, Kyoto Ani employees are salaried and not freelancers. In addition, they even have training programs for young animators to work underneath supervisors and learn
That's
their
good.
career. You might be surprised to hear that most animators aren't even technically full-time employees. But yeah, that is the industry standard. But KyoAni is very different. They have full-time employees that even get benefits like maternity leave, which is insanely
Okay.
good and almost unheard of in the anime
So
industry.
wait, is that like him saying that in America? That's like an obvious thing to have at a job, but it seems like in Japan that shit is just that shit is like a gift. Like that's not something that's given out to random people. But I guess he mentioned that most animators are considered full time employees, which in and of itself is crazy. So I don't know how they do it.
Now,
But
why are they able to afford all of this? Well, usually anime studios make very little money, even if their anime does really well. The reason for this is
damn.
that anime studios don't really fund anime themselves. Production committees do. Depending on the studio and the amount of producers involved,
Oh
the amount of money that the studio actually sees after an anime can be pretty variable.
shit.
MAPPA,
I'm
for
not gonna lie, I can solve this. Bring all these Japanese anime studios to America. They would make bank. I don't know if they can like subsidize a branch in the US and like legalize their company in the US, but if a lot of these studios did that and like, had to deal with HBO, all these streaming services, HBO, Netflix, Hulu, they make the money because that's crazy. All this goated anime and they don't get paid as much as they should. It's
for
crazy.
example, doesn't usually keep a large slice of the pie. KyoAni, on the other hand, he has a huge slice when they produce anime. But why is there a difference? The reason is very unique to KyoAni. In 2009, they started hosting the annual Kyoto Animation Awards in 3 categories: original novels, manga, and scenarios. And a lot of their biggest work have come from these contests, the most notable ones being Chunibyo or Violet Evergarden or even Free. This means
Violet
that even
Evergarden
if
is the only anime I've
the
seen on
anime
this
doesn't
list.
do amazing, they still make a majority of the revenue from that anime because they are licensing those projects.
This is a
And
beautiful
because
anime.
KyoAni doesn't have this pressure of external producers, they can also take way longer to work on their anime. That's why when you watch our shows like Violet Evergarden or Hibiki Euphonium, you can see the love and care in every single shot. I mean, genuinely.
That is actually one thing I noticed about this anime. Like, you can just feel the emotions in the anime. Like, I don't be feeling that when I watch anime, but like this particular anime, Violet Evergarden, yeah, I be like, what's what I'm looking for? Out of my element.
Look at this animation. This is some of the best animation that the medium has to offer, and all the employees were treated fairly. It's the best of both worlds. Their work culture and business model has been very successful, and I
Nice.
hope the best for them, and I hope more anime studios start to move in this direction. And they're also known
Doubt it.
for making people cry. I mean, if you watch
Okay.
Glad or
I feel like I'm trying to think. I can't think off the top of my head, but I feel like there's only one anime that's ever made me cry. And that was like back in like 2010 when I was watching Naruto. Like a few scenes in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Naruto as a whole can make you cry. When it's your first time watching it and the OST that plays behind some of these emotional scenes. But other than Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, I don't think I've ever cried, like actually bawled out crying for any animes that I've seen. because it's like, I don't know. For me, I just always think to myself, okay, it's not that deep. Maybe that's not a good thing, but especially like recently, I definitely haven't cried recently on any animes I've watched. But the last time I can remember vividly crying, like bawling out crying, where I had to stop the anime and just like take a breath, was when I was watching Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. A few scenes,
Canon, you
but nothing
know that
else.
that shit makes you cry, man. A1 Pictures was created by a former
Whoa,
Sunrise staff
this
producer
one I feel like is gonna go up. Is gonna go up. Is on the uptick.
in 2005. And they were pretty interesting
Just
because their
because of
works
solo
are
leveling.
very variable in terms of animation quality. Usually depends on
Persona.
if the
What the
project
fuck is
has the
Persona?
budget and if the production schedule itself is good, but they are well known in the anime community for consistently
I haven't seen a lot of. I haven't seen. Yeah, a lot of these shits I haven't seen.
releasing a
None of these shits.
ton
I've been meaning to watch the Kaguya Love is War
of
shit,
anime.
but yeah, none of these shits I've
More
seen.
specifically, light novel adaptations. A lot of these
Was that
don't
a?
really
No,
hold
yeah, I
up
haven't
in
seen
the
that.
long term, although it's not to say that they never release good-looking shows. You know, Sword Art Online, Solo Leveling, and Kaguya-sama all look really good, but at the same time, their releases include Arrow Manga Sensei, which is like, eh. Also, in 2018,
Whoa, what?
a section of A1 Pictures broke
I want to go back, but I don't. I don't know what that
off
was.
into Cloverworks Studios, which is still managed by the same Aniplex parent company, but tends to have a much higher.
Do they do a lot of
benchmark
hentai
for
shit?
quality within their shows. It's also worth noting that A1 Pictures has a pretty bad reputation of overworking their employees. In
Oh, shit.
2014, a 28-year-old employee at A1 Pictures worked over 600 hours a month for
That doesn't even make sense. Hold on, let's do some more calculations. So the last one was like 350 hours. Let's do 16-hour shifts times 7 days a week. That's 112 times 4. Wait a sec. That's the 21-hour shifts. 7 days a week. That's 147 a week times 4. There's no way, and it's still not enough. So on average, this guy was working 22 hours a day, 30 days straight.
3 years and ended up committing suicide.
Yeah.
This has-
Oh no, not yeah. Like that's crazy because that doesn't even make bro. Working 22 hours per shift, gotta be like nah. That's crazy.
forever
R.I.P. to him, but that's
stained
insane.
their reputation. Shame on you, A1 Pictures. SARU
Did they sue? Like I'm trying to figure out what happened after that because that's crazy. Because I know in America, they that family could have made a huge bag off the studio.
founded in 2013.
That's
Famous
crazy, though.
Anime director Masaki Yuasa and animator Eun Choi, who had a long history with Yuasa. Their first work as a studio was actually an episode of Adventure Time.
Adventure Time, what
but
to
their
say?
first
That's like Adventure
series
Times.
was Ping Pong the Animation. In addition, they don't really care about the nationality of their employees. Instead, choose them based on their skill. This means that a ton of
That's normally what it should be about.
As a studio, Science SARU is known for
We need more. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love Japanese anime, we need more. From what I see, we need more culture. Like we need more diversity in the studios.
being out of the box. They experiment with really insane color palettes and are not afraid to push the envelope. With
Is Devil
series like
Crybaby a
Devilman
thing?
Crybaby,
Yeah.
which has tons of gore, gay sex scenes.
This
and
was crazy.
A whole lot more that I can't show. A lot of their weird energy does come from Masaki Yuasa, but Science SARU recently released Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, which is just as weird despite not being directed by Yuasa at all. If you want some more Science SARU recommendations, I would highly recommend Devilman Crybaby, Ping Pong the Animation, and Keep Your Hands Up Azuka. Also, watch out for Dandadan, which is coming out soon and is aimed by Science SARU. I'm really
Shit, that
excited
shit
for
came
this
out
one.
already. That shit's good
Studio
anime.
Shaft was founded in 1975 and are known for their experimental
Shaft.
visual styles. Some popular example of Shaft anime are Madoka Magica or the Monogatari series. You can immediately
Not
tell that
watching
you're watching
that.
a Studio Shaft production due to the work of directors Akiyuki Shinbo, Shino Numa, and Tatsuya Oishi, who formed what is known as Team Shinbo. This Team Shinbo led to very distinct stylistic ideals with whatever project that they were working on. Sometimes
Okay.
they would use sharp color contrast, high-paced jump cuts, and even place real-world objects within the animation itself. All of this gives Studio
okay.
Shaft anime a really
Yeah!
surrealist
Is that the
feel, which I
Monogatari?
think is super cool. The Monogatari series
That's what I
also
thought.
features iconic moments like the Shaft head tilt, which is actually confirmed
Oh,
by
shit.
Team Shinbo to be a
I'll be seeing
Studio
that.
Shaft staple. Although Shaft has lost a lot of their core staff over time, including the disbandment of Team Shinbo, they still produce popular shows like March Comes In Like a Lion and Quintessential Quintuplets.
Oh, shit, okay.
Ufotable was founded in 2000
Oh, I forgot about
by
these
Hikaru
guys.
Kondo after he split from Telecom Animation.
Damn, they opened.
They're well known for their strong
2000?
relationship with the game company Type Moon, and they've adapted a ton of their games, like the Fate series and Garden of Sinners, as well as working with them to create animations for their in-game cutscenes. Ufotable is most notable for their
Demon Slayer,
incredibly
obviously.
vibrant and colorful animation. As I'm sure many of you have seen with Demon Slayer, arguably Ufotable is the best studio in the industry at combining 3D computer graphics with traditional 2D sakuga. Like KyoAni, Ufotable hires a lot of their employees full-time and is regarded as one of the better animation companies to work for. I'm not really sure where they're getting all that money from, but
I'm not gonna lie, Ufotable and Demon Slayer, when it first came out, it obviously like shocked the world as far as like the anime, especially the anime space as far as animation. But thanks to JJK, I'm not gonna lie, looking back on this, like just looking back on this scene itself, this doesn't really impress me because the animation compared to JJK, the season 2, this shit is behind, which is crazy to say because this came out. I don't know what year this came out, but it came out I think 27. I'll say like 27. I don't know. It came out pretty not too long ago. And just looking back on this animation, this shit doesn't compare to the season 2 of JJK.
It's one of the better animation.
It's still a good animation quality, but I'm not gonna lie, this shit doesn't impress me.
I'm not really sure where they're getting all
anymore,
that
at
money
least.
from, but wait a second, they committed tax fraud? Yeah, this is something that I actually didn't know about until I made this video, but
Damn.
apparently Hikaru Kondo refused to pay around $4 million in taxes, and also the Japanese
government... So Japan government is big on taxes, but they don't care about, employee safety, good working environment. That's crazy.
Noting that Ufotable was suspected of misappropriating funds from a charity auction for the 2011 Tohoku earthquake. They never ended up filing charges, but Kondo resigned, and because of this, he is now facing up to 20 months in prison.
That's it?
If you ask me. Studio Bones was founded in 1988 by former Sunrise staff members who were bored on working on mecha anime and wanted to try more creative projects. Studio Bones is most well known for their insanely
Full Metal. Okay, I didn't know that.
Action sequences. In fact, you could argue that they have some of the best sakuga in the industry right now. A huge reason that they're known for this is because of Yutaka Nakamura, known as one of the GOATs in animation. He's popularized techniques like the Yutapon cube, which is where debris forms cubes to show the destruction. You can see the influence of Yutapon cubes across the industry.
That's cool.
Even in the Legend of Korra, I've seen Yutapon cubes made for debris. And even now, Nakamura continues to innovate at Bones. Because of this, they've created some absolute bangers over the years. Like how the movie, The Full Metal Alchemist,
I need to catch up to Mob Psycho
100, or on High School Host Club, My Hero Academia, much more. Just go through Bones' catalog. It is impeccable. Studio Orange was founded by 3D CG animator Eiji Inomoto in 2004.
What type of afro is that?
He was well known for his works in Ghost in the Shell and Zoid.
Oh, he did Ghost in the Shell? Okay, he's a W in my eyes. Just for that one anime.
The 3D animation part. The studio mainly did outsource 3D animation until 2013, when they started doing co-production with other studios to make shows like Black Bullet. But then Orange started making
I haven't seen that anime before.
With shows like Land of the Lustrous being met with great critical reception for actually having good CG. Studio Orange is so unique in their
anime is that?
Animation that I can genuinely tell that they understand the strengths of CG and how to play into them. Usually in 2D anime, CG is just kind of thrown in there.
Oh my gosh. If this studio, Orange, did this automatically becomes the worst anime studio ever created because of this. Just because of this one anime. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This Berserk anime. Not the Netflix one. But if you go online or watch it online, there's like a Berserk series. This is the most I've seen a lot of I can't even say that. This has to be the most trashiest anime quality I've ever seen. This Berserk series. I don't know who okayed this. And you know what? I have a theory. I think because of how trash this anime quality is, a lot of anime studios are afraid to pick up Berserk as an anime and like redo it the right way. Because if something like MAPPA, Wit, or even Toei picked up Berserk would be really popular, like as far as the anime community, I feel like. But this in and of itself, like, it pisses me off just seeing this.
It's difficult to animate, and it doesn't usually blend all that well. Meanwhile, Studio Orange makes sure that all their models feel like they are genuinely alive instead of just stiff figurines.
I haven't seen this anime either. I've been meaning to watch it, but like, I don't know, just
magical and live.
I don't be wanting to watch it.
But with that anime touch. And this is because they don't shy away from using 2D animation to first sketch out what the facial expressions might look like.
If that's what you guys do, stay away from that.
Results in a
just copy MAPPA
greater than the sum of its parts.
Or somebody else.
You can see this clearly in their newest series, Trigun Stampede, where Vash's facial expressions and movements just
this one doesn't look bad. If they did Berserk like this would be fire, but this animation looks pretty good.
Their 3D animation doesn't make me gross out or wish that the studio had more budget to just make it 2D instead, because the anime genuinely looks better in 3D, and I think it's a sign of more 3D animation to come. Before I end this video, I want to let
Nice.
y'all know that I stream on Twitch a lot.
That's actually a good video, man. Really good video. Shout out to him. But yeah, man, he did a really good job breaking down a lot of anime studios. Going more in depth as far as like what these anime studios, their background is. Because like I said, all we do is we watch the end result. We don't see like what actually goes behind these studios and what makes the anime the anime. But yeah, man, this is a really good video, man. I can't lie to you.